The film begins by showing a scene of humans traveling between the stars. At that time, there's a huge spaceship carrying 40 passengers, including a dangerous criminal named Riddick. At that time, they're all in deep sleep, waiting to wake up for their journey. When they finally arrive at their destination planet, something unexpected happens. A small meteorite hits their ship, causing the death of the captain. This wakes up Fry, the female co-pilot. With the ship in critical condition and about to land on an unknown planet, Fry tries her best to land the ship safely. She has to remove part of the passenger cabin to make the ship lighter. Unfortunately, most of the ship gets destroyed in the landing. Johns, the police officer in charge of guarding Riddick, is shocked to find his prisoner missing. He searches around and is attacked, but he manages to capture Riddick again, though it's not easy. As they come out of the wreckage, Fry sees that many passengers didn't survive. But they're lucky because the planet has oxygen they can breathe. Even though it's a tough situation, they're grateful to be alive. Among the survivors, there were 4 Muslim brothers led by Imam and his 3 sons. They had embarked on their journey to explore space as part of their faith, even though they faced challenges like not having enough water or knowing the times for their prayers. Despite this, they remained committed to their Muslim duties, performing their prayers together through special rituals. Paris, on the other hand, was an antique seller who had brought along a box of alcoholic drinks. He thought it would help him and his non-Muslim friends stay hydrated, unaware that alcohol actually worsened dehydration. Meanwhile, Riddick was trying to escape. He deliberately injured himself to slip away unnoticed when Johns returned. On the other hand, Johns, realizing the danger posed by Riddick, warned everyone about him, urging them to join forces in the search. They also sought out a water source, crucial for their survival in this unfamiliar environment. As they were getting ready to leave, they noticed something interesting about the planet. It had 3 suns, 2 were yellowish-white, and 1 was blue. This meant the planet was always bright, with no nighttime. After walking for a bit, they found what they thought was a tree, which usually meant there was water nearby. But when they got closer, they realized it was actually the bones of a huge creature that had died long ago in the desert. Soon after, they stumbled upon an empty camp that belonged to other space explorers. It looked like they had left suddenly, leaving behind useful things like a water pump and a small plane that could help them leave the planet. To their surprise, Fry also found a model of the planet's solar system, showing that there was never any nighttime on this strange world. Meanwhile, at the landing site, there's a passenger named Zeke who's burying the dead. On the other hand, Paris, who's keeping watch, hears what he thinks is Riddick's voice. But when he checks with Sharon and Jack, they didn't hear anything. Then Zeke, who survived, appears in the distance and shoots because he mistakes a noise for Riddick. As Zeke goes to bury the one he shot, he notices a new hole in the ground he was digging. Suddenly, he's attacked. Soon after, Sharon arrives and sees Riddick near the hole, thinking he's the attacker. Riddick tries to run, but Johns catches him. Riddick is tied up again in the wrecked plane, and Fry, curious about Riddick's unusual eyes, asks about them. Riddick explains he got them from being kept in darkness for a long time. He had surgery to see in the dark, but he's blind in bright light. Then Riddick firmly said he wasn't the one causing trouble. He warned them about a mysterious figure that dragged Zeke into a hole. Feeling responsible for everyone's safety, Fry decided to check on Zeke. She found his severed leg and saw an alien creature nearby. Scared, Fry climbed into a hole to escape. After talking it over, Johns and the others agreed to let Riddick help them leave the planet. They tried a battery from the plane on a small aircraft, but it wasn't enough to start it. They needed 5 more batteries. At that time, Imam managed to get water from a pump and gathered everyone to drink. And Riddick, using his instincts, suggested that the camp wasn't abandoned, but that its inhabitants were hunted by the same creature that killed Zeke. To prove it, he suggested they check a room they hadn't explored. Soon after, they heard screams from one of Imam's sons coming from that room. When they arrived, they encountered flying alien creatures that had killed Imam's son and disappeared into a well, likely the same creature that killed Zeke. Inside the well, they found many human bones, likely from people in the camp. Riddick believed these creatures only attacked in the dark. Soon after, Fry discovered experimental samples dated 22 years ago. She matched them with a miniature solar system, revealing a surprising fact about the planet. Despite seeming to have perpetual daylight, the planet experienced darkness every 22 years due to an eclipse, which was about to happen in a few hours. They had no choice but to leave before the creature shows up. Using a solar-powered vehicle, they rushed back to the landing site to get 5 more batteries for the small plane so they could leave the planet before the eclipse. But turns out the eclipse happened sooner than expected, trapping them at the landing site. They had to hide in the wreckage of the plane. Sharon and Riddick were outside, and Fry told them to stay still. But Sharon, being impatient, stood up and was immediately attacked by the creatures. Once everyone was in the plane cabin, they didn't know what to do. They knew they couldn't stay there, or they'd die too. Soon, a creature managed to get inside. Riddick told everyone to be quiet and not move, but Hassan, one of Imam's children, was too scared and became the next victim. Finally, Johns and his friends realized that the creature's skin would burn in direct light. They gathered items that gave off light and rushed to the camp to start their small plane. Even though they had brought an LED cable, it didn't mean they were safe from the creature. Along the way, they kept getting scared by it. Paris couldn't handle the fear and decided to leave. Sadly, he accidentally broke the LED cable and it led to his death. But then they quickly lit torches instead. Suddenly, Riddick stopped, sensing something attracting the creatures. He realized it was Jack, who was actually a girl on her period. Jack admitted she disguised herself as a boy because she thought it would be safer and more accepted. Soon after, Johns showed his true colors, suggesting Riddick kill Jack to protect the group. But Riddick couldn't harm a child, even though he's known for being tough. They fought, and Riddick hurt John's back, attracting a creature. Johns shot the creature to save himself. Now 5 people were left. They are Riddick, Fry, Jack, Imam, and Imam's child. They journeyed until they came to a road blocked by a high cliff. But then Imam's child was grabbed by a creature. But their Riddick, carrying batteries, kept going despite this, so Jack asked him to stop. But then a creature attacked. Soon after, Riddick saved Jack and killed the creature, but Imam was grabbed by another creature. There, Riddick ordered them to hide in a small cave for safety. But then, unexpectedly, Riddick closed the cave door and left alone on the small plane. Feeling hopeless, the 3 of them found glowing caterpillars for light. Fry eventually found a way out and followed Riddick to the small plane's location. At that time, Fry asked Riddick to help rescue Imam and Jack from the cave. At first, Riddick refused, but he changed his mind and decided to help. Finally, they managed to save Imam and Jack and reached the plane safely. But now, Riddick faced danger when attacked by a creature. There, Riddick fought back and managed to control the creature, but another one appeared, trapping him. Soon after, Fry rushed to help, but she too got caught by a creature. After Riddick finally made it to the plane, he decided to fight back. He tricked the creatures by turning off the plane and then quickly turning it back on. But it's unclear what will happen to Riddick, Imam, and Jack, as the small plane wasn't meant for long journeys. The film ends. The moral lesson from this film is if you ever get stranded on a planet with 3 suns, make sure to pack sunscreen for all-day protection. And remember, when faced with aliens, just befriend them, cause they might have some killer dance moves.